Hi guys, so I'm back for part two here. So continuing on, how does HIV and AIDS connect with the modern needlecraft rollout? Well, uh, first off, a little interesting thing. Apparently, in Australia, there was claims that the Rona needlecraft had a false HIV response. So I take it when people were needle crafted and then they were tested, they come up as HIV, if I'm correct. And apparently, that 50 million doses were rejected or something like that from these false HIV positives. I think they were saying here false HIV positives, I believe. All right, okay. Apparently, I looked this up. The AstraZeneca vaccine, right, does have uh, a chimpanzee virus in it. Apparently, it's a weakened version of the virus that would cause nothing but a common cold in chimps, and it has been genetically altered so it won't hurt people, won't hurt humans, right? But there we have it. I mean, boom, they got chimp virus in uh, the AstraZeneca, not just monkey virus, but chimp, right? Now, for all we know, it's the same. It could be the same material that they harvested, maybe, in the 1950s. Um, for all we know, or perfected. Or this has been going on. They've been doing the same bloody thing non-stop since the 1950s. Um, so how listen how this isn't funny, but um, how do you know that what you have in the AstraZeneca, for example? I mean, we still have AIDS in Africa, right? Now, if it's been done by needlecraft, um, perhaps the reason why the uh, the AIDS pandemic, the numbers have dropped, isn't because of anti AIDS HIV drugs. It's because the uptake of the vaccines has dropped as people have gotten wiser and wiser or fought for their freedom when they lose faith in all of this. Yeah, because doesn't matter if it's polio or malaria or whatever bloody thing that I don't know that you know Billy Boy Gates is putting out. Um, it's the same. It's the same concoction here. You know, I'm not just saying with the uh, with the Rona vaccine, it's just chimp virus, but I'm not even saying that with the original polio or with these other more modern ones. That isn't just chimp virus, but there's a massive connection here, isn't there? Um, Keeping that in mind, Prince Harry, I think it was when was it? February this year. He was urging people in the UK, Brits, to get HIV tested. He was urging everyone, not just homosexual people, right? And he said there's been a surge. There's more cases now of heterosexual people getting HIV than homosexual people and bisexual people. There's been a sudden rise, apparently. So again, connect that. Why is he saying that? False positives um, with the Rona needlecraft. Get a HIV test. AstraZeneca chimp virus inside of it. Um, so there's obviously parallels here. There's obvious connections to me. There's got to be, and the monkeypox thing, which if it's that could very if it's a if they were afraid that it's a side effect from the needlecraft, the Rona needlecraft now, then could have well been a side effect from the HIV needlecraft back then, right? Again, this what's so maybe what we're experiencing and what we're going to experience here, as depressing as this sounds, Africa's already been there, right? It's just a matter of how we deal with it in the future and how we make a stand. Now, do you see where I'm coming from? Because um, this monkeypox, people aren't buying it. Apparently, I think we've had enough. It's like fool me once, fool me twice, fool me three times, four times, no way. So I'm not having you know, needlecraft, foghorn, leghorn, you know, whatever you want to call it, number four. Um, but those people in Africa, when you're starving, when there's plagues, famines, and you have somebody saying, "Look, you get the vaccine, you get a food package." What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, we were put on their knees, our knees, to a level, but never like these people. So you can't blame them. And I think there was just as many, if not more, clued in African people that had figured that out. They were not trusting those laboratories. I mean, in that documentary, if you watch that, you'll be taken to the the remaining these laboratories they use that are just they're not being used anymore. They're like ghost laboratories, you know, and it's like jungle over there. It's like a jungle's overgrown it, and there's a big like a there's a big rock with a letter on it, and they were told just to leave it there by the scientists, the African people, and they don't know what it means. And then inside the laboratories, there's all these test tubes, all of these concoctions in there. You know, maybe there's even I don't know, dead chimpanzee virus in there. It just reeks of a eugenics bioweapon program to me. You know, something really really sinister, and I just want to say, you know, um, if if that is a bioweapon, obviously it's an attack against humanity, you know, and people have said, and I think they're right. People like Bill Gates, Fauci, and the likes of them, they are afraid of nature, and therefore they are going to be afraid of people who are connected and bonded to nature and within their natural element. And all people like that, I think, are amazing and beautiful. All races, you know, and Africans certainly are um, not an exception because they have a like a vitality about them that's unique. I mean, they are extremely well adapted to their environment, extremely well, kind of like traditional Europeans, you know. They're extraordinarily well adapted. They are the most athletic. I think they're the most athletic people on the planet. Some of the fittest, some of the strongest. They have amazing rhythm. I think they have amazing instinct. You know, I think they have. I mean, they have their own unique magic, the voodoo and everything. These really unique, um, and they have like yeah, they just have a natural, natural organic vitality, and I think that terrifies people like Fauci and Bill Gates. That terrifies them, like nature terrifies them. You know, like a big powerful animal terrifies them. And I think you know they may not be people like them, Bill Gates and that they're probably not even actually consciously aware of it. But this force is driving them. This demon is driving them to wreak havoc upon human beings, and they picked on I think the African people because it was practical, third world. You know, they're desperate, so they will take the needlecraft and not ask too many questions because they don't have as many rights. It's not their fault, but they also picked on them because they were afraid of them and they were jealous. Um, so that's what I think. We've gone through a lot since 2020. But I just want to say, think about what African brothers and sisters have been going through since maybe the 1950s, and are still going through to this day, right? If I heard it, if it's true that the uptake for the COVID needlecraft has been very low in Africa, maybe because they've figured it out and they're not having any more, or ever since the 80s or whatever, or 50s, it's been going on and on and on for them. One a needlecraft after another, after another, after another, by the Bill Gates Foundation and the Fauci or whatever. They've been hammered and hammered and hammered. And now it's our turn by the powers, right? I just really want to put that out there. This is nothing new under the sun, and it was going to come to us. So it's a bit of a heavy video, but this certainly is a not just a physical attack; it's a spiritual attack, I think, against human beings, you know. And yeah, I think we need to consider that. And when we say as the tribe, you know, what we held in 2020, we did that for the tribe, and the tribe certainly does include, you know, Africa and our African brothers and sisters, because I know, you know, in my heart there was thousands, millions of African people way back in the 80s or wherever, that said what we held. We hid, and we hid from that needlecraft, or we fought back and we said no. I know there is, and there's still people there now. You know, people are awake and aware, and so, you know, we're all the tribe. And if they went through that injustice, then not only do we have a right to preserve, you know, ourselves in 2020, but we have the right to honour them and fight for them too. Yeah, I think I said everything. I think that went quite well, and who knows what the future's going to hold? But it's up to us, isn't it? How we stand our ground now, even further as the tribe. You know, I think we really did make a difference by not letting things, you know, tip into calamity. You know, we stopped things from going from the, you know, from the saucepan into the fire. So, you know, yeah, I really do think we should be proud of ourselves. And all right, I think that's enough for now. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Cheers.